How Formula One teams travel.
They swim everywhere. They have a little boat and then they swim. No.
Hey, I'm Tatiana Calderon. I'm a Formula One test driver.
And I'm Alice Powell, a racing driver in the W Series and the Jaguar I-Pace E-Trophy. And we're here with Wired to answer 50 of the most Googled questions about Formula One racing.
Are Formula One cars street legal?
Well, it depends what kind of street. I wish they were. Probably best for safety that they're not. I would probably have one on the road if they were. Is Formula One racing dangerous?
Every sport is dangerous, but they're the quickest cars on earth. How Formula One works?
It works in a way where you get the best drivers competing on excellent circuits, racing some of the fastest cars in the world. So I would say it works quite well. How much is a Formula One car worth?
A couple of millions for sure. Who was the first female Formula One driver?
Was it Maria Teresa de Phillips? I'm not very good at pronouncing names, so I'm going to go with that. What's Formula One?
I think it's the pinnacle of motorsport, the highest level of technology, of cars, of drivers, engineers. How to become a Formula One mechanic?
Get as much experience in the lower formulas. There's a lot of great colleges out there that can teach you kind of the basics of mechanicking and engineering, but getting hands-on is the best way to do it. You know, I know lots of people that first started off just washing the wheels and now they're mechanicking on Formula One cars. How to buy a Formula One car?
You need a lot of money, really good contact.
Win the lottery.
How Formula One cars work?
They need an engine, obviously, a chassis. You need loads of other components. It takes a lot of money and time and effort from the teams to get the Formula One cars on track. Okay, why Formula One drivers live in Monaco?
Probably because they earn a lot of money and you can avoid a lot of taxes there. Why Formula One is better than NASCAR?
For me, you know, I prefer Formula One to NASCAR because you're racing on, you know, not just ovals, but you're kind of out on the tracks. You've got street circuits, a variety of circuits. You know, it's close racing, which NASCAR is as well, but, you know, I've been an F1 fan since I was a kid. Okay, how to become a Formula One driver?
Well, it's obviously not easy because there's only 20 seats available in Formula One and you need to have started really early. So yeah, you have to go through the ranks, the lower formula, starting with karting probably, then Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, and then reach Formula 1. And you need a lot of sponsors. Who is the best Formula 1 driver?
Are we talking past or present here? For me, you know, I was a huge Michael Schumacher fan. He was my hero growing up. Which Formula One teams are based in the UK? Red Bull, Haas, Renault?
Racing Point, Williams, Mercedes, McLaren, obviously. Which Formula One driver has the most wins?
Must be Schumacher.
Who won Formula One World Championship 2019?
Lewis Hamilton won the Formula One Championship in 2019. That would have been very embarrassing if I got that wrong.
When is Formula One season?
So Formula One usually starts in March. Obviously that's been slightly different this year. And it runs through all the way to about November. What is Formula One engine?
Well, I would say it's like the most complex but the most technology and the most efficient engines in the world.
Is Formula One faster than NASCAR?
Absolutely. How Formula One teams travel.
They swim everywhere. They have a little boat and then they swim. How Formula One points are awarded.
The top 10, they score points and each team who has two drivers then scored as teams, and there's a ranking and some money involved in the prizes, let's say. So it's very important to have two drivers scoring points, but yeah, obviously only the first 10 score points, and I think it's 25 the winner and 1 point for the 10th place. How Formula One cars are made?
With love and care. which obviously is definitely going to be love and care, but with lots of people working lots of hours in factories, it costs a lot of money as well. Yeah, there's a lot of hard work that goes into making a Formula One car.
Who won Formula One World Championship 2018?
Don't want to be giving a boring answer, but Lewis Hamilton again won the Formula One World Championship in 2018.
Which countries have Formula One?
There's a lot of Grand Prix to go through. There's a lot of countries to name. Tatiana, you're going to have to help me out with this one. You got the British Grand Prix, there's obviously Austria this weekend, Belgium, French, they go to Singapore, Monaco, Japan, China, there was meant to be Vietnam this year, Mexico, you got US, Brazil, Italian, Hungarian Grand Prix, Australian, how can I forget the Australian Grand Prix, Abu Dhabi, Canada,
Azerbaijan.
Oh, Azerbaijan, yeah. How could I forget Baku? It produces awesome racing.
Yeah.
Russia, yeah. That's quite a few, I think. How have Formula One cars changed?
Safety-wise, and in terms of speed, of technology, of even like the way you drive the cars, I think it has evolved a lot through the years. And when you look back now, it's incredible to think they were driving.
I know, health and safety would go absolutely mad.
Yeah, so much has changed. How many people are involved and working on the cars is a totally different Formula One nowadays, I think. Does Formula One race in the rain?
Certainly does. They do have obviously different tyres. You've got your slicks, then you've got your full wets and the intermediates, just when it's kind of starting to dry and it's not as wet. So yeah, it does race in the rain for sure, and it's tricky. Do Formula One drivers pee during the race?
Well, I don't know any driver that has
Oh,
peed.
you do.
I have heard.
You were gonna say someone.
You're not supposed to. I don't think you have time to think about having to go to the bathroom. Have you? I've never had that thought going through my mind.
No, they can if they really want to wee, but I'm sure that, like you said, they don't have time to think about it.
Yeah, and you have to use the same seat the whole year, you know?
Yes,
so
not
I think
good.
It's not a good idea.
The mechanics will probably absolutely hate you.
Do Formula One cars have ABS?
Formula One cars do not have ABS. Do Formula One cars have power steering?
Yes. Do Formula One cars have pedals?
As far as I'm aware, they have pedals. Otherwise, they're very, very clever to just, maybe in their mind, they just think accelerator, go, now brake. That would be crazy. But yes, they do have pedals. Do Formula One cars have traction control?
They used to have in the past, but now it's not allowed. Do Formula One teams make money?
If they did make money, they would put it back into the sport or into the team. So yeah, I would probably say they make very little and just want to put it back in. Do Formula One cars have a clutch?
They do have a clutch, which you only use to start. When did Formula One racing start?
In the 50s. I'm sure it was... Oh, no, wait. It was before that, wasn't it? How did Formula One get its name?
It would make sense to me that is the maximum, like Formula One, and then you had Formula 2 or Formula 3000 sometimes. Why did Formula One change to V6?
Probably the sound. Everyone loves the sound of a V6 engine though, don't they? Oh. Where did Formula One originate? It was in the UK, I think.
I would go for the UK for sure.
Yeah, we're just gonna guess. Are we right? Was it the UK?
How many laps in Formula One?
There's no sets. It's done by distance. So how many laps it varies really, track to track. Usually a Grand Prix on average, I would say, is in the region of about 60 laps. I would say an average 60 to 65 laps. What is DRS in Formula One racing?
So DRS is drag reduction system, was introduced a couple of years ago. In a race, you have to be between 1 second from the car in front of you. In qualifying, it's free and you have DRS zones, so it's mostly on the straights. You operate it with a button and it's very efficient to make overtaking. What is the top speed of a Formula One car?
Probably about 210 mile an hour. Can Formula One drivers wear glasses?
I believe they do.
But I know some drivers, a couple that race, or Alexander Sims, like he uses his glasses when he races, so I suppose it's just preference, really.
Can Formula One cars reverse?
Formula One cars can reverse. They probably do not like to reverse. Race cars like to go forward, but yes, Formula One cars can reverse. Can Formula One cars refuel?
Not anymore. You're not allowed. But in the past, we've seen some big fires and some big messes when refueling was available. Can Formula One cars drift?
Yeah, baby, Formula One cars can drift. Can Formula One cars drive upside down?
If you're upside down, then this is not a really good sign and the team won't be very happy.
I think they produce enough downforce that they probably could drive upside down.
Are Formula One drivers athletes?
100% Formula One drivers are athletes. Are Formula One cars electric?
Well, they're hybrids, and you have a sort of a part that it's electric, but it's not like Formula E, which is a fully electric car. Are Formula One cars the fastest?
I would say, in a drag race, it depends. Formula Indy cars are pretty fast, but I would say, probably the power output of a Formula One car, they're pretty fast. Are Formula One cars all-wheel drive?
No.
That would be quite interesting, isn't it? Four-wheel driven Formula One car.
Are Formula One cars manual?
Formula One cars, you have to change gear. So the gears, or the gear paddles, are on the back of the steering wheel. So yeah, they are manual. They do have to change gear. Those were the 50 most Googled questions on Formula One racing. Thank you ever so much for watching.